A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. Pleading today will affect your immigration status. I need to know if you're on probation or parole, because pleading today could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If I sentence you today on a criminal case, then you have to go down to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. Today, we're being tape recorded and videotaped. All right, we're going to start with in custodies. All right, next we have Lee Eberly. Mr. Eberly, you are charged with driving while license suspended.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you have a felony pending.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, I'm on probation for a felony.
You're already on probation. Mr. Eberly, if you plead to this, they can use this against you to violate your probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
So do you want to talk to an attorney before you decide what to do?
Yes, I would.
All right, you're suspended for not paying 3 tickets in Hillsborough County and 1 in Lake.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it looks like the state's going to be able to prove that you were suspended. Why haven't you fixed all those things?
I'm currently in the process of that.
How?
Every week I get a money order and I send them off. Well, I've been playing probation.
Miss Angie, could you look up the Lake County charge, please? It's 4349 WGH. What are your tickets in Hillsborough?
For an accident.
You have 3.
One should be like driving with no insurance and then reckless driving or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
And why didn't you go on the payment plan for those so you wouldn't get suspended?
I didn't know I had the option.
The Lake County ticket is an expired tag.
Yes.
And it's $170 now because of late fees. If you want to enter a no contest plea to the expired tag, I would find you guilty. It's civil, so it won't affect your probation. I would find you guilty and sentence you to time served on it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you don't have to pay the $170.
Okay.
So now you just have to clear up Hillsborough.
Okay.
Miss Angie, time served on the civil. When did you get put on probation?
It was a few months ago, about 3-4 months ago. Officer Seto.
You got put on probation before you got this driving while license suspended. And this is what is violating you. And if you'd fixed your driver's license, we could have changed this to a civil, and they might not have used it against you in your felony. I think, who was your attorney for the felony?
Freddie McLean helped me.
So the public defender. All right, I'll appoint the public defender on this case, and we'll see if you can. How much do you have left to pay?
In what court?
Hillsborough.
Hillsborough? I think like 126 for one ticket and 176 for the other 2.
All right, we will appoint the public defender and see if they can get this worked out. All right. Danny Melgar. Mr. Melgar, you are charged with a revocation of your pretrial intervention. The state said you sign this contract and you do everything on the contract, we'll drop the charges. And they gave you some months to do it, and you haven't. Doesn't look like you've done anything.
Actually, I did do one. My only issue was making the payments and all that, because I was barely getting any hours at work. And my probation officer knew that, and she was willing to work with me. And
you didn't even do the community service?
No, I didn't have a car by then. I just got a car recently.
Okay, well, they made you an offer. You should have taken a bus, or you should have walked, or you should have found community service nearby, but you can't just ignore it.
Where I live at, they told me, because I was the only bus that
Okay,
goes
Mr.
there.
Melgar, you had all this time to do it, and all I have are excuses. State, what's your recommendation? The contract was with you.
Then, Your Honor, we would like to proceed with the, actually,
He has a $500 cash bond. I don't have that he did 1 hour of his community service. I don't have that he did the 10-week batters intervention
I have proof
program.
of that.
You did the whole class?
Yes.
He's got proof he did the class.
Your Honor, do you possibly have the, I don't have the file for the initial battery.
Could you
have
hand this to him? Could you have a seat while the prosecutor looks it over, please? And could I have Melody Allwine to the microphone? Miss Allwine, you are charged with driving while license suspended in violation of a traffic control device. Sorry about giving you the wrong date to show up. Did you come on that other date also?
I called the bail bondsman and got it straight.
Good for you.
I also have my license.
Yay. All right, we will change this to a civil and give you 6 months to pay.
Okay.
If someone as organized as you, I don't know how this happened.
I have a son that's handicapped, so my whole life is in an uproar every day, so I'm just appreciative that you changed it.
All right. And then you also have violation of a traffic control device. You have never had this charge before. There was no crash.
I was putting on my seatbelt as he was observing.
This is for running a stop sign.
Yeah, I was actually clipping my seatbelt in and looking at him pass me by. So if I did pass the stop sign, it wasn't doing it on purpose. I was trying to buckle my seatbelt.
Which you should have done before you ever went into motion, and he could have charged you with
I know.
seatbelts, and he didn't. Okay, enter a no contest plea. I'll withhold a finding of guilt, and this one's changed to a civil, and a withhold. I'm withholding on the violation of the traffic control device. Let me have her record back, the file. Thanks. You've had a prior failure to observe a stop sign. So I probably shouldn't have even withheld then, but I did withhold, so it's $166, and you have 6 months to pay, which takes us to March the 5th, 2013.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
I didn't catch it the first time, or I wouldn't have withheld, so you got a lucky break there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Larry Burns to the microphone, please. Mr. Burns, you have 2 driving while license suspended within a short period of time, so that's going to be jail time. Your license is suspended because you let your insurance lapse. Do you have a valid license now? Mr. Stevenson, could you look, please?
Mean like you got a valid license on August 31st. And is this the attached tag?
I don't have a tag. Oh, yes, I do. I do have a tag charge.
Looks to me like he's got a valid tag as well.
He's been suspended
Sure.
since April because the insurance lapsed. It's his first Willis. Well, the first one's his first. And then the second one, he had one June 26th, and he did not show up in court when he was supposed to. So we issued a capias. Did you get arrested? You got arrested on that capias?
No, ma'am.
You got arrested for the new driving while license suspended, and that's when they served that other one on you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so he got arrested, he got charged in June with the first one. Then in August, another one. And in August, the car also had the wrong tag. And both were on the same suspension. So this is jail time. Given your health issues, you can't do weekend work program, if the state was even willing to consider that. So we're looking at 5 days in jail. We will have to make a range. How long does a tank of oxygen last?
This one's probably got about another 30 minutes or so left on it.
So they don't last days, they last hours?
Yeah, just hours.
And so what do you do at home?
I have a oxygen machine. Makes its own oxygen.
Well, if you plead today, it will be jail time.
Your Honor, is there any sort of house arrest possibility possible? Because unless he rigged up a very elaborate machine there to fool us, I would be amenable to that.
Well, they can get an oxygen machine at the jail.
Okay.
House arrest costs $10 a day, something like that.
And I'd want more than 5 days if we were to offer him that. I just didn't know how this situation was going to work with jail.
County probation.
Hi, I have a house arrest question.
Yes, ma'am.
How much does it cost per day?
$7.50.
It did not go up. Okay.
Not yet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, it's the only thing in the whole world that hasn't gone up. It's $7.50 a day. The state is offering you an alternative to being in jail.
And now, of course, if we went with house arrest, because I'd say it's more pleasant than jail, I'd be asking for 20 days of house arrest or 5 days of jail, whichever he prefers.
Okay, 5 days straight in jail. You got arrested on this, right? And how much time did you do in jail?
2 days.
2 days already. And how'd they handle the oxygen situation?
They have a oxygen machine there.
So you'd only have 3 more days to do. So we'll do that.
Yes, ma'am.
When do you want to turn yourself in?
Friday afternoon be all right?
Okay, this is Wednesday, and you'll turn yourself in Friday night by 7 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
So it either needs to be, they change shift at 6, so it cannot be around 6. So it's either 7 or
5:30.
5-ish. Not 5:30 messes up shift change. So by 5 or by 7.
Okay.
All right, so this is Mr. Burns. We're changing the first one to a civil, and the second,
Acceptable, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
That's fine, Your Honor.
The first one to a civil, and then on the second one, it's going to be defendant's present, waives an attorney, enters a no contest plea to counts 1 and 2. I find him guilty, counts 1 and 2, and sentence him to 5 days, credit for any time he's done. And if you don't turn yourself in, it's 29 days in jail. You are reporting to jail by Friday. What's Friday's date? What? September 7th, 2012 by 7 p.m. When you leave here, you have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan. If you get 3 driving while license suspendeds within a 5-year period, you get habitualized. Tallahassee will take your license for 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one won't count because I withheld on it and made it civil. The second one counts to be your first in a 5-year period unless you've gotten some somewhere else. He needs to be printed, and he'll report to room 105.
And on the first, Phyllis, or what about the cost?
Mr. Burns, on the first one I said time served, but you have a late fee and you have a cost of prosecution. So you still have to pay $75 or you'll be suspended again. On the first driving while license suspended. 6 months. Okay, so we're ready on Danny Melger?
Yes. State would be willing to proceed with that battery case, so when did his PTI become?
Did you see this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to look at it again?
No, sir.
Are you willing to give him more time to finish his pretrial intervention, or are we sentencing
I'll
today?
give him a month if he'd be able to get this done in a month.
I'll be able to.
Okay, if you come back in a month and it's not done, I don't want to hear any excuses.
Not a problem.
All right, you're present, you waive speedy trial, we continue it to
October 10th.
October 10th, 2012, 8 a.m. Defendant to finish, and SAO will still dismiss.
And could you write no excuses or something like that on there?
No more excuses.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wait for your paperwork, and we'll see you next week. Robbie Mercier? Mr. Mercier, you're charged with resisting or obstructing and no driver's license. And you didn't show up when you were supposed to show up August 15th. I don't understand. I look at you so polite, dressed so nicely, and I say, this can't be the same person. And you also have a no valid driver's license. It says you've never had a license. Okay, at least there was, it's not as bad as I thought it was. You lied about your name is what they're charging you with. And how old are you?
18.
Why haven't you gotten a learner's permit or a driver's license?
I'm almost done getting my license. I just need to take the road rules test, it says. I didn't pass it the first time.
All right, State, he says if we gave him more time, he can get his driver's license, but that's not going to change anything with lying about his name.
Your Honor,
Shall we give him more time, or are you going to do an offer?
in this case, State would be asking for an adjudication of guilt, 10 days in Lake County Jail concurrent, a credit for time served and gain time earned.
Why jail time?
Looks to me like he's previously been convicted of no driver's license. Remember back
I
on
don't have
February 23rd of 2011?
I don't have anything on him.
Well, it's written down on this piece of paper here, so it must be correct.
Yes? Come on up to the microphone. This says you had the same charge a year ago.
He wasn't charged. He was a minor then, and he was just brought home. We didn't know anything about it being a charge.
Oh, was that in Lake County? Do you know?
I believe so, Your Honor. I can look it up if you'd like.
We'll have Miss Angie print it out for me. Miss Angie, he has apparently a prior.
Your Honor, I can give you the case number in just 1 second. 907. It was in front of you in February of 2011.
All right, could both of you have a seat as close as you can get? And could I have Rachel Delgado? Raciel? Raciel? I apologize for mispronouncing it. Raciel Delgado is charged with battery It's domestic. Your wife. All right. You're charged with slapping her, punching her, slapping her and punching her. Grabbing her upper arms, pulling her. All right, that's the charge. State what's your recommendation on Mr. Delgado.
Your Honor, in this case, the state is seeking an adjudication of guilt. We'd want 12 months probation. Now, Mr. Delgado could terminate that after 6 months if he got everything done. We're looking for a 29-week batterers intervention program and 20 hours of community service and no victim contact.
I'm pleading not guilty, Your Honor, and I'm requesting a public defendant.
How much do you make a week?
About $250.
How do you make enough to support your whole family? Does your wife work?
Yeah, both and I worked.
All right. Do you own your own home or are you renting?
Well, we live together. Right now I'm staying at my mom's house.
Okay. Do you own a home or are you renting?
No, I don't own a home, renting.
All right. I will appoint the public defender. There'll be a $250 minimum charge for their services. And gentlemen, would one of you explain to him how to get to the public defender's office? Shalimar Bulger, please. You are charged with possession of paraphernalia. State what's your recommendation.
Your Honor, for Ms. Bulger, the state is seeking an adjudication of guilt. We would like 6 months probation with early termination would be fine. She can pay $200 or do 20 hours of community service.
Okay, let me back you up a minute. This says 3 small clear baggies, which looked like they had cocaine inside. And then it said yielded negative results. Wait a minute, let me keep reading.
I don't have the PC. You have to read it.
It tested positive for cocaine. So if it tested positive for cocaine, why is she with us instead of in felony court?
I guess there wasn't enough substance. It was just...
I do not know the answer to that, Your Honor.
All right, this will be a drug evaluation, any treatment recommended, random screens, and a fine. Is there anything I left out?
That's it, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
If you enter a no contest plea, we would find you guilty of possession of paraphernalia. We would want you to have a drug evaluation, any treatment recommended, random screens, there's a fine, no new law violations, whatever it takes to get you off of cocaine.
And for how long?
You'd be on probation for 6 months. The state was recommending early termination, but I'm not sure I'll allow that.
Okay.
I think it will be 6 months probation.
Okay.
We have a deal? All right, let's go over it together again. You're present, and you want to get healthy, right?
Yes.
You want help to give up that nonsense. I accept your no contest plea. I find you guilty. I put you on 6 months probation, no early term, and a special condition of probation. Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
Walmart.
All right. Drug evaluation and any treatment recommended. Random drug screens.
They didn't come for home. It's this lady's, but she was not here.
And fine, what was the fine, $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
$200.
Or 20 hours of community service, if she prefers that.
$200 fine or 20 hours community service, your call. Any questions? Good luck. We put Mr. Mercier aside. Come on up.
I got
You did the jail tour last time,
Yes, ma'am.
but that still didn't convince you to stop doing bad things. And you didn't have any unexcused absences from school.
No, ma'am.
Have you graduated?
Oh, I'm a senior.
Where?
East Ridge.
So tell me why you've never gotten a learner's permit?
One, I finished the drug and alcohol. I passed that, the road signs, and then
Okay, you're going to get it. You're working on it now.
yeah, and then I failed the road race by one question, but I'm taking it again.
Well, you had a prior no driver's license, and you just got another one, so that's jail time.
No, he's not here.
You're 18 or 19?
18.
He's the one you...
The state's recommending 10 days in jail.
Your Honor, now that I see he's in high school, we'll go 5. I realize that doesn't totally, yeah, 5, I mean, he did get convicted on February 23rd of this same thing, am I right?
Yes, if we're going to do 5, then what about if we give him a month to get his license, and if he gets it, we'll do the weekend work program? No?
I mean, my feeling is, this is his second time. Leniency I'm not getting. 10 days, given that he's
Okay.
in high school,
All right.
I don't see the need for.
Mr. Mercier, if you enter a no contest plea, it will be 5 days in jail that you'll do over Christmas break.
Repeat that, ma'am.
You'll do it over Christmas break or Thanksgiving weekend, so you don't miss any school.
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll do it Thanksgiving. You'll turn yourself in Wednesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and get out Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? If you don't turn yourself in, it's 29 days in jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, Miss Angie, 29 days suspended. He's got to turn himself in by 7 p.m. Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Is the...
22nd?
Okay, so the 21st, 7 p.m. for 5 days.
Now, Your Honor, before we're entirely done here, could you please inform Mr. Mercier about the $102.04 which Groveland is requesting?
All right, I'll look at that in just 1 second. Okay, you would turn yourself in Wednesday, November 21st, 2012, and it's to do 5 days. You have to go to room 105 and sign up for the payment plan. You have a $25 late fee because you didn't show up when you were supposed to show up. You're giving up your right to an attorney if you plead today, and that's what you're going to do is plead, right? You enter a no contest plea, and I find you guilty. And then the state is saying there are investigative costs.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I'll have to find them. So far, I don't see them. On where? On here? Okay, there are investigative costs of $102.04. Law enforcement said you wasted their time and they want to get paid back for it, so there'll be investigative costs of $102.04.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he needs to sign that, and I guess we're okay. Thank you for being here with him, ma'am.